Animation is a way of making movies that has always fascinated us. Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such podcasts as Game Over Japan, It's Xbox's Turn, and Channel 7 Watchdogs presents an expose on the Missouri School for the Mute Bake Sale. What they're not telling you. But today I'm here to talk to you about the miraculous advances in computer animation. Joining me now is tech expert Dr. Nick Riviera. Hello, Troy. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. Oh, and Hal and Ben are also here.
Yes, I'm here. Hello. Welcome to Too Many Movies, the podcast where we discuss DVDs, Blu-rays, and even the occasional VHS tape. And yes, Swine is also here. Hi, Swine.
Hey, Hal. How's it going? Hello, Troy and Dr. Nick. It's a pleasure to be here. You may know me as Uncultured Swine. I'm here again to talk about computer animation in the 80s. Hey, Troy McClure and Dr. Nick, you look like you've got something to say. Do you? We must certainly do.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Wow, Troy McClure and Dr. Nick were aliens?
I did not see that coming.
Oh, that was weird.
Well, that just happened. April Fools, everybody. We're here. Yeah. All right, Swine, welcome back to the show.
Pleasure to be here as always.
Yeah, dude, love having you on. And I had a very special idea in mind for today's episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So every once in a while, I get the opportunity to be like, hey, I want to talk about something really out there in my collection, because people look through my collection. They're like, oh, we should do an episode on this completely normal movie. And I go, yes, that's a good idea. But recently I've been real fired up. I've been like, you know what? I'm going to make people watch the weirdest stuff. I've made people watch The Bone Collector. I've made people watch The Gene Generation. I'm going to be talking about a lot of weirder stuff in the coming weeks. Don't you worry. We'll get to them. But like this time I was like, I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to make Swine watch state of the art of computer animation, an unforgettable visual experience on VHS.
Wait, the occasional VHS tape?
It is indeed an occasional VHS tape. This is very exciting. Yeah, no. So I barely remember how I came across this. If I had to guess. So I've said before, one of my old jobs was I had to go to people's houses and clean them and organize them and whatever. And this one time I went to a guy's dad's house. His dad had passed away. And I went to his house and his dad had like an insane collection of movies. And because, you know, he's trying to get rid of it all, I'm like, hey man, can I take some of these? He's like, I don't care. Just get it the hell out of my house. So I'm like, fuck yes. So I got some really cool stuff there. I think that is the same house where I got the 50 of the greatest cartoons VHS tape, a big staple in the podcast's history.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. And I think that's the same house I got this state of the art of computer animation VHS tape as well.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely compilation.
So I was like, you know what? I don't remember why I kept this around, because it seems entirely random. It's not a movie. Let's get that off right off the bat. This is not a movie. And I don't mean that as an insulting way. I mean, objectively speaking, this is not a movie. This is a VHS tape with like 30 different examples of computer animation, because it was late 80s. Computer animation was really starting to take off. And I guess the VHS market was also booming. So people were like, what do we do? Let's just put this on VHS to show people the magic of computer animation. When it's like, nowadays, you could find literally all of these things on YouTube. So putting them on a VHS, you do not see this anymore. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and a shout out to like there's a surprising number of uploads of this on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I that's probably a good point. Yeah, it's like, okay, like we're just gonna do this for money, because yeah, it's like there's no rhyme or reason to this really whatsoever. Like it's not like exhaustive. I mean, it is like a lot of these are technically like short films, you could say, but it's like it's The artistic merit is a little
Yeah.
a little varying, I
mean,
guess.
because sometimes you get something really cool. So like the cover of this
Yeah.
VHS tape is what is it, the bird and the fish? I forget. It's called like Stanley and Stella or something like that.
Yeah,
And
it's the first one in it.
yeah. It's a literally just a short film, no dialogue, nothing. It's just visuals of like a bird and a fish, and they're in a gigantic goldfish bowl in the center of the universe. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, you can do that with computers. That's ultimately the goal of this VHS tape, is they're just like, look what you can do with the power of computers and animating stuff. Which, yeah, I was getting real fired up with this. I'm like, hell yeah, you can do this with computers. And then sometimes it would just be like, look at this cool image you can do in computers. And then it's over. It's like,
Yeah.
It got
there's
it got tedious after a while.
Yeah. There's like no, I get, like I said, there's like no organization. Like it's just like there's no, like, like this is like a rapidly growing, like, technology is like rapidly advancing, and yet there's like no consistent, there's no, like, it doesn't show what year it came out. Like it's just completely random, like whether like some of the stuff came out like in 84 to 86. And like, okay, it'd be cool to see like, okay, how the technology has progressed. But there's no like there's no like narrator or anyone like talking about, like, there's a couple, like, the one with like the metal woman,
The sexy robot woman.
That was like one of the few ones that actually like talked about the process.
Which was cool.
There's not,
but it was kind of smack dab in the middle of the VHS, and it's like, wouldn't you start with this? I don't understand this.
And so it just seems, it's kind of frustrating. And it just does seem like a bit of a cash grab. Like they just got everything they got permission from.
Because like at
and
first,
like
no, you go ahead.
And I think it's like it has merit. Like I like, sure, if I was like, if I was like part of if I like was involved in making one of these, oh cool, I get the, like, it's kind of like a I guess like a film fest, you can almost say, like here's like just like a showcase of some animation that's in this compilation. Like it's interesting, but it isn't terribly informational. It's not like a documentary or anything.
No. So like I'm trying to wonder. I was watching the whole time. I'm thinking like, okay, would they play this in, say, I don't know, art school, where you have like a computer, like a course on computer animation, and you'd be like, oh, here's an example of stuff you can do with that, and you would just show this to the class in like the late 80s. I feel like that's what it was for. But like, but like it's weird because then do you just show the whole thing? Do you show it in parts? Because if it's a VHS tape, you have to skip through a lot of it to get to certain short films. And
like I said, like a lot of that stuff is probably like fairly outdated. Like as far as like there's like wireframe characters, like those are like important. But I was like, I don't think they're like, definitely not all of it is cutting edge, and like a lot of it, I don't know, like I can't say that I have a photographic memory of every short in this, but there definitely seems to be varying levels of quality between these. So like some of them are going to be better examples than others.
Because I tried logging all the short films on Letterboxd, and I mean already I'm just annihilating my Letterboxd stats by logging every Looney Tunes short this year. So the fact that I was doing these 1 minute CGI short animations from the mid 80s, it's completely fucked my Letterboxd stats for 2025. Like they're completely fucked. But I didn't log every single one of them because they didn't have titles. They didn't have credits until the very end. Which I want to talk about that. The way they do the credits is very sloppy because they save it for all at the very end. It was very similar to, I forget which one it was, but there was a horror anthology film I watched years ago. It was either All Hallows Eve 1 or 2. I believe it was 2. Maybe it was All Hallows Eve 2. All Hallows Eve is where Art the Clown originates from. So obviously we know Art the Clown from the Terrifier films. He was in a movie called Terrifier, like the short film from like 2008. But then in the early 2010s, there was this horror anthology film called All Hallows Eve, and the big short film that they advertised was with Art the Clown. So then when you see All Hallows Eve and you see the poster on like Tubi, it's Art the Clown. And like, he was kind of like the big one. And I guess that's what really put Art the Clown on the map, where people are like, oh, we want to see more of this guy, which then caused Terrifier 1 to come out, and then eventually, it's history from then on with where we're at now. Yeah. But they made a second All Hallows Eve, and they didn't have Art the Clown this time. So you just had these other random horror films that were made for like $2 from people. And literally all they did was they just had the short films. And then at the very end, and this pissed me off to no end, they just played out every single one of the credits of those short films in order. And so like you had moments that were from the short film still playing, and then it would just be the fucking credits, and then it would cut to like the next one. It's still playing the end of it, and then it's the credits. It was amateur. I hated it so much. I was like, fuck this movie, dude. So this did the same thing where you had like the credits of these short films spliced together at the very, very end. It was really bizarre to see.
Yeah, it's like a mix of like some of them were ones that they probably create, like the whoever put together VHS looks like they made them, and then some of them just completely stick out because like they are like themed around like they creative credits, is like the lack of a better term. Like like some of them are fairly obvious what they're associated with, and other ones it's like, but it's like you can't even have like a shortened version of the credits or something. Like I guess that's something like a request but like,
maybe
again, there's like we can't even find the titles for half this stuff.
Exactly. So like some of these
frustrating,
but some of these did look really cool. It's like I really wanted to log that Interiors short film because that was really cool, but I couldn't find it on Letterboxd. I'm like, oh well, that sucks, because this was actually one of the better short films I actually really liked. But then you had other stuff like, I don't know, just like the fucking penguin and the nice lounge area. You had Wally B and Andre, the fucking original Pixar short.
Right.
You had another Pixar short where it was the beach chair, and it's just this beach chair interacting with water, and it just walks off screen, and it's like, that's it. It's like, where's beach chair been this whole time, Pixar? You're not gonna put him in
I had to look it up.
Cameos?
Like confirm, because it's like they're right next to each other, I believe, like with Wally B, Andre and Wally B. And that's the Pixar logos in between them. So it's like I got mixed impressions online of whether or not that was actually a Pixar, but it's very similar to like Luxo Jr. or it's just like a furniture item interacting, and like obviously like that's like a probably a water test is like the main purpose. But it's like an animated furniture item like Luxo Jr. and it actually came out the same year. I guess it was kind of like one of Pixar's animators kind of did it on his own, is the impression I got.
And that's cool. That's the thing. I would say, objectively speaking, this is a cool thing, because it is cool to see that like, oh, these people are taking the style of animation that we haven't seen yet, because again, it's the mid to late 80s. When you think animation, you think Disney, you think 2D, you think hand-drawn, whereas this was brand new. Like Toy Story was still 5 or 10 years away, so we weren't there yet where we could be like, oh, we can do a whole movie that's computer animated. So that's why I think this is cool, and it is cool to see people take that. But again, as I don't know, like obviously it's on me for watching this whole thing, watching the whole hour. It is cool. It's just not cool enough where I'm like, this is worth watching over and over again. And I feel like, even like we were saying, I think it is weird to say, even just in a classroom setting, I'm trying to watch this, it's still awkward and clunky. It's like, why would we skip through this? Like, why wouldn't you, I don't know, like, what would you do in that situation? Would you like just put like each individual short on a VHS tape? I feel like that's too much. I don't know. I guess
it's probably the kind of thing where like the teacher needs to like can like probably prep it in like advance.
Yeah.
Like timestamps and stuff. Because like it would be way more clunky to have them on individual VHS tapes, and there's just not, like, back then there wasn't really a good alternative. Like digital video wasn't exactly practical yet.
VHS was enormous in the late 80s, early 90s. Enormous. So yeah, of course, and obviously it's just an industry that does not exist anymore. Occasionally, I mean, you do get VHS tapes still made to this day, but like, as a joke, where you have Vinegar Syndrome being like, oh yeah, you can have New York Ninja on VHS. I ordered hundreds of beavers on VHS. That's not coming until April.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's April today because today's April 1st. Haha, you know.
Is that in a 4x3 or?
I don't know. I haven't gotten it yet. But again, it's as a gimmick. You know, that's a gimmick because again, VHS sucks objectively. It is a terrible, terrible physical media format. But I still like it because I like that aesthetic of just this grainy, not very clear audio wise tape. Right. Just watching it, like there's an appeal to that. But back in the day, this was the highest quality you could see of stuff on home video.
And not that it looked much better in HD.
No. Definitely not. I guess another thing I wanted to bring up was Peppy the Pineapple. That's
King.
Yeah, that's one of the
My king.
Yeah, that's one of the short films that really stuck with me was Peppy the Pineapple. He's my PFP right now.
Guy drowns.
Yeah, he just fucking drowns.
Still going at it though. Still going at it at the ukulele.
That was disturbing. I'm not kidding when I say that was nightmare inducing. That was disturbing. But I loved it.
A lot of like it's just like inherent with like the low quality. It's that Uncanny Valley. Yeah, it's all like kind of an Uncanny Valley, and so like this one they go like to that. It's just like going more unsettling narratives, I guess.
Yeah, and the fact that it
kind of goes hand in hand with it.
And the fact that his face doesn't move, he has that same dead-eyed smile the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And was that one for an advertisement? It wasn't always clear.
That's another thing too. Yeah, there was like a lot of advertisements, which the fucking Hawaiian Punch advertisement, that was cool because it was like
I was wondering, like Hawaiian Punch is only at the very beginning, and that goes on for a while.
Yeah, and I don't know if it transitioned to that beach one too. That was weird. Yeah, but the Hawaiian Punch one was cool because it's like, oh, it's like Star Wars, but you have like these Star Wars robots walking around. That was cool.
Yeah.
But then there was like there was like a couple of these ads for what the fuck
Benson and Hedges.
Benson and Hedges. Yeah. It was like, oh, this is really cool. What is this advertising? It's a fucking cigarette company.
What?
Yeah.
What? I assumed it was like a a jeweler or something.
Yeah, like a jeweler. I thought it was a firm because like, I don't know, Benson and Hedges. That sounds like a fucking law firm. It's like, I don't know what this is selling, but it's capturing my attention, which, back in the 80s, if you saw that on TV, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
It's like freaking Mr. Plow.
Literally, I was thinking, Dad, was that your commercial?
Dad, is that your commercial? I don't know.
Literally. It's a fucking cigarette commercial. Like, okay.
Yeah. And same with the sexy robot. Like, it's like for canned food. You can barely understand it. And like, are canned foods like are canned foods a big deal? They gotta have this like futuristic commercial. Who's advertising canned foods?
Was that a real commercial? Because like I thought it was a joke. Like, oh, we're advertising canned food. It's like
I think it was commissioned for that purpose.
Weird.
Like I don't know if there's a canned foods commission. Like I don't know if that was like a big deal in the 80s. Like now it's just normal.
I guess because like I mean canned food is like you can store canned food and for years. That's why a lot of doomsday preppers.
It's futuristic. I can see the line of thought where it's like, okay, like, oh yeah, it's the food of the future. It's like astronaut food or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But like, you can barely understand it. It's like, what the heck they're saying?
I thought it was a joke.
It's got it through this filter.
I generally thought it was a joke, like canned food. Like, oh, it's just supposed. Like the idea is like the commercial itself is the product, being like, look, you can make commercials like that.
What is it like? Dotco, the gas station one they did.
Oh yeah, Robotco. I'm pretty sure that Botco.
Yeah, Botco. Like that. That one's probably like a fake commercial.
Oh, absolutely. I've not seen. Where's my Botco, huh?
Yeah.
The ultimate one though we got to talk about is they did play the Money for Nothing video at the very end, which that made me confused because it's like, okay, it's the 80s, you have a very popular song, a very popular music video, one of the most famous music videos of the 1980s, and you're putting it at the very end of this hour-long compilation VHS. That's weird.
That felt super shady.
Is that supposed to be
put it in there to sell it?
Yeah,
sell the tape.
Well, if they put it in there to sell the tape, wouldn't they put it at the beginning?
I just gotta get you to stay. Like obviously you sell the tape. It doesn't matter. Like it's not like
okay, yeah.
Gotta like I don't. Yeah, you don't need to get them to watch the whole thing. But yeah, I guess like yeah.
And you just have to hope to God
investment.
that. Well, you know what? They just don't know what the fast forward button is. But also, yeah, once they have the tape, you have their money, so it doesn't matter at that point. Yeah,
yeah.
You bring up a good point there. Yeah.
But yeah, just like tacked on.
Yeah. I mean,
kind of an afterthought, but yeah, it's also like I don't know if they like save money putting it at the end or something,
right?
Well, I imagine that's where a lot of the budget was.
Because like I can imagine the music video itself being shown in the computer animation class, like you would absolutely show that.
Incredibly important. Yeah.
It was incredibly important, and it's incredibly important to computer animation history, regardless, like whether or not it was the late '80s or it's 2025. You would show that you would show that music video as like an example of whatever, you know. But yeah, but like they just show it. Like there's no diving into how they did it. There's no understanding of why it's important. Yeah, they don't have a narration at all showing you that. They just straight up show the video. It's like, okay, why is this here? I mean, looking back, it's obvious why it's there, but you know, I don't know. Like make it so that I'm learning something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not educational. And the thing, like, they're probably pushing, like, it's not like you're lacking content outside of the fact that credits are like 20 minutes long.
They are 20 minutes long.
But so yeah, you get a decent amount of content. Like, actually, no, it's only an hour.
It is only an hour. Yeah,
it could probably be longer, but yeah, there's just stuff like I've never been sure if they like when they got like the colors on top of like the live action video. I don't know if that's like done by computers or if it's done by hand. I've always been curious about that.
That would be cool.
I'm sure I can find out somewhere.
Yeah. It would be
yeah,
cool
there's just like interesting stuff with that because there's like different art styles obviously with this one in particular.
Yeah, it's a really cool video.
Yeah. I think it's funny there's a couple occasions where like they got the movers on a loop, and there's at least one occasion where they clip in like on screen, so like, they just like appear. So like there's a couple of there's some shortcuts in it, but yeah, like honestly, like the
nobody would have realized that back in the 1980s when that came out, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're a little more used to it nowadays.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's like they're fairly impressive. Like it's obviously like very like much caricature, but yeah, like the guy with the cigarette like is a very like not necessarily convincing, but like a very suitable like cartoonish a caricature of a person. Like it's like pretty convincing. Like,
but it was mostly the idea was like they could do it back in the day rather than we can do this the best we can. I mean, it was the best they can, but it wasn't about that. It was about, hey, we can do this now. Yeah.
And it's also very helpful for understanding the point of the song too.
Yeah, that too.
I really did not understand. And of course, there's the one verse where the F slur gets dropped all the time. I was so confused with what the point of the song was. I finally, it's okay. So it's from the perspective of people watching them on TV.
Yeah, money for nothing. Get your kicks for free or chicks for free.
Yeah. They're like this is what it's like to be a rock star. That makes sense.
I want my MTV. Yeah.
Yeah.
That little, he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
That little bundle of sticks. He's a millionaire. Well, all I can say is Weird Al did it better when he did the Beverly Hillbillies Money for Nothing parody.
Yeah.
That little Clampett, he's a millionaire.
Yeah. That's in UHF, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a non. Does that have CGI in it?
It was the exact same style. It's funny. I've probably seen the parody version of that video more than I've seen the actual Dire Straits video because I've seen UHF more times than I've seen The Sun. So
yeah.
So it helps there.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So it makes sense that it's in here. This was one of the ones I was wondering. Like, it's pretty iconic from as far as like 80s animation.
Absolutely.
I think the one I did miss that didn't make it. I posted this in the Discord earlier to you. I missed out on 1989's Petey Meets the Dragon. Tragically, came out a year after this.
Oh yeah.
So didn't make the tape. I think that was one of my
Oh.
I obviously like Luxo Jr. some Red's Dream came out in '87 from Pixar. Didn't make it into this.
Didn't make it in there. Oh yeah. Oh, Petey.
Yeah.
Fuck it. If Petey was in there,
Petey's
that'd be
another
awesome.
like dark.
I love Petey.
Definitely like dark story. It was like like unsettling.
Well, this was '88 when this came out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So no Petey.
Missed the cup.
But yeah, that was a big deal for the fire animation. But there are some shorts in this that also have fire animated. So I don't know what the difference is there.
I don't know. I'm not an animator. So yeah, genuinely, I talked about this in my review on Letterboxd, but this was because I've talked about, I consider Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst to be a very huge influence on the podcast. But this was the first time where I truly felt like I was in like a Black Spine episode or a Wheel of the Worst, where we just land on something random, and I'm like just sitting there thinking like, oh my god, now because every time I'd watch those videos, and they're complaining about what they're watching, I'm like, oh come on, I could totally handle this. But it's like, no, when you're sitting there watching the whole thing, then it's a different story where it's like, god damn, this is exhausting.
I had to go through it a couple times because my first YouTube link had like it was missing the important ones. Like it was missing Andre and Wally B and
oh my
god. And I got to the end of it and there was no money for nothing.
Oh man,
I came for money for nothing and I got nothing.
Oh, I did feel bad for you after I finished this. I'm like, my god, I made him watch this. But now I feel even more bad because you watched 3 different versions.
No, I gotta go back for my notes anyway. It's cool.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, do you want to go like through some like specific ones that stuck out to you?
Yeah, I've gone over Peppy and Money for Nothing. Andre and Wally B was kind of lame. I'm like,
yeah, we can talk about that one.
Yeah, I guess because that is the Pixar. That's like Pixar's
like the first Pixar one.
Yeah, I guess we have to talk about that because Pixar, people love Pixar. So
yeah.
I do too.
And yeah, it's like as far as like complete narratives, like it's definitely, and it's probably one of the, again, I don't know how old these get, but yeah, like 1984 is when it came out, so it's one of the older ones
right
in this, and like it does tell a complete story. Production value is definitely up there, and yeah, they probably got Steve Jobs money working on that. I'd be curious to see like the different it's like how like the funding for each of these too, because like these are not all on the same playing field. I think it's kind of unfair for some of these to be like on the same tape, and yeah, there's just no explanation, like not like no details about that.
Yep.
But Andre and Wally B is another one. It's definitely uncanny valley a bit. Like it's suitable.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those ones where it's like a lot of these do have like just classical music in the background. You got
because that's all they could afford.
Yeah,
it's in the public domain.
Yeah, Wally. Yep. And yeah, Wally B is Andre. Just does Donald Duck voice.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, the Disney influence was always there, wasn't it?
Yeah. And yeah, it's like it has just some like really ugly textures. I don't know if it was in this, but I was always really uncomfortable as a kid with the end credits music. I don't know if it was like the instrumentation, but yeah, it's like again like kind of uncanny valley, just like really like aged technology sound. It's always made me uncomfortable.
No, that's interesting.
I didn't see it in there.
I've always found that interesting. What people find creepy. Yeah. Especially because like the uncanny valley does fascinate me because maybe it's just because I've seen so much stuff. A lot of this doesn't affect me anymore, but like that's why I'm always curious to see what will set off alarm bells in my head when it comes to the uncanny valley. I'm always curious to like really push my limits with that.
Yeah, like do you ever like listen to like those like some like first audio clips in existence, like from like the late 1800s that they're able to like remaster?
No, I mean not directly, but I've probably heard those before. But yeah, like they're
those are also like more up there. I should say, like those are really unsettling for me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Like it's just like the technology's so like this is really poor technology, and like this thing about God, this person was alive like 200 years ago.
Yeah, and you can still hear their voice. That is, I feel like if that really hit me now, I'd probably like if I were to listen to that now, I'd probably. Yeah, that would hit hard where I'm like, oh, fuck, this is almost 200 years old and that person is not alive anymore, but we can still hear their voice. Yeah. I guess that would. I mean, that is an inherently creepy idea.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's like you get like, at least I've gotten like kind of more used to it, so it doesn't hit as hard. But yeah, like definitely it was like a teenager and listening.
But yeah, the uncanny valley does fascinate me in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think, like the characters are very effective, especially for 1984. Like the movements are like, it's got like the comedic timing is like good enough. Like the character movements are convincing, so like it's very impressive for its time.
Yeah,
it's like, as far as like when I watch like the Pixar compilations, like I'm gonna skip over that one most of the time.
Yeah, I will say when it comes to Pixar's first, I'm more impressed with Toy Story because the animation's a bit basic in that movie. It's not as good as it is now.
No contest.
But the story and the characters are phenomenal. So you're able to get through it. And I guess it's unfair to compare a short film to a feeder length film, but the fact that they were able to get Toy Story to be that good the first time around, like that's impressive.
Yeah, then I think we already talked about the beach chair.
Yeah, beach chair and Peppy and like, Money for Nothing are really the only things that make any impact on me.
It's a beach chair, another one of those water physics like films. It's all for the water physics.
Yeah. You
can thank Beach Chair for The Good Dinosaur.
Thank you, Beach Chair.
I would say it was better than you got the first one with the the bird and the fish and the
and the
like gives itself a concussion breaking the glass ceiling.
Yeah,
it's ice. I found out from the like is that like breaking the ice, I think is what the title is.
I mean, because it's cool. I wish they could have went a little further with it, because like I still think it's a cool idea, because like the designs are bizarre, but like you can do that in computer animation. So I guess they wanted to make the designs look as weird and interesting as possible, because like we had never seen designs like this before.
And the sound, I like the sound design a lot too, which I think some of them are like electronic, at least some of them.
Oh yeah, the music, a lot of the music in this I really dug, because I'm into that synthy kind of 80s sound.
I had some problems with some of the music. Well, at least one of them in particular.
Yeah.
How about that fabricated rhythm?
That
such a funky rhythm.
You're reminding me of that one. That was bizarre. That fabricated rhythm.
I had to watch that one 5 times. I want to know which came first, the song, because it's definitely like a tech demo for like having like the gravity effects on fabric. And I'm guessing that probably came first, but the song is just so underdeveloped. The lyrics aren't good in the first place either.
No. Yeah, it's incredibly basic. Yeah, no, it gave me anxiety. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? See, that's Uncanny Valley.
It wasn't like it's a lot of it is gravity. Like there's the one with like the bouncing balls. Like there's like some like good gravity tech demos. Like,
it's cool.
Yeah, again.
Objectively speaking, if I was walking around a museum, or I was in like, I don't know, a college class that's going over computer animation history, this would seem very interesting and cool. I really liked that Tour of LA video where like you just like are flying over a computerized version of Los Angeles. That's cool. It's just, as something I'm talking about on the podcast, Too Many Movies, it's like it got a bit much after a while.
Cinema. This is cinema. Animation is cinema. Animation is cinema.
Animation is cinema. Animation is cinema. Hell yeah.
It's funny on one of the most popular upload of this is just the number of people in the comments that are just like, this is real art. Animated movies today, and let me read this word for word. This proves that limitation sparks creativity. Animation today, in my opinion, is missing that surreal feeling. It sort of feels boring now. I mean, animation has advanced, but it's missing the creativity it once had. Imagine watching this person watched fabricated rhythm, and made that comment.
They're just like, well, at least it's better than the Mario movie. It's like, why are you comparing the two? Here's the thing, because like
fabricated rhythm or the wild robot. Oh, that's a toughie. Which one had more emotion, creativity behind it? Watch this or Flow. The water in Beach Chair just doesn't. It just is so much better in Flow.
Yeah.
There was emotion behind that chair.
I watched The Day the Earth Blew Up, and let me tell you, it's not as good as what the fuck is it called? Speeder, the one where the guy like gets beheaded in the desert. Yeah, no, thank you, Disney. It's like, look, here's the thing. I'll agree that, like, I don't know. Yeah, when it comes to stuff like, your most popular Disney film at the moment, Wish. It's like, yeah, I would agree that the animation looks horrible in that. Compared to this, where it also looks horrible, but at least it was the time, and at least you can understand the work that went into it, the time and effort that went into making it. But also, I feel like you can't really compare animation tests like this of the 80s to fully fledged Hollywood studio films. If anything,
absolutely not.
Compare it to animation you see on YouTube. And if anything, I'd say animation's in a very good spot, YouTube wise.
Yeah.
Like,
you even look at like student films and stuff. Like, it's like, they're probably gonna be better at looking at least. Like, and like not all of them are like great storytellers, but like there is absolutely a ton of high quality animation being
absolutely
like, in an independent sphere.
Look up Oni Plays Animated, and you're gonna get a bunch of people taking clips from Oni Plays, the YouTube channel, just taking segments of their conversations on playing games, and just see what people come up with animation wise, the styles, the different creativities. It's phenomenal. A lot of that stuff, I watch these videos more than I watch sometimes the Oni Plays episodes, mostly because they're like, 2 minutes long compared to their 20-minute long episodes, which I'm a huge Oni Plays fan, but sometimes I associate their designs with these certain animations. It's great. It's really cool and interesting.
Yeah.
So no, I would not say animation is in a worse spot. It's lost that creative spark, that's fuck you, whoever that is.
But I do think, and like relevant to this, I feel like there is like some validity to his point as far as like where animation is, because AI animation is like the experimental, and like obviously no creativity at all. It is completely devoid of creativity. But like, I think there's a valid point there.
Yeah,
like,
that
would be like that's what you see compilations of, is like obviously like AI, they do like if you're on Twitter animation. They do, oh look, we got this new like AI tech demo. See, like look how cool it is. And you tech bros are gonna love that.
Well, see, that I would compare.
This is the 1988 tech bros.
Yeah, I mean, I would compare those two definitely, because I think, I think they do have some similarities. You have the AI tech because you have that idea of like, oh, we can do this now. I think it's way less interesting because it's way less interesting from a creative standpoint, because in the 80s you actually had people creating everything. Obviously the computers were doing a lot of the work, but there was still a person behind all of that. Whereas now it is cool to say, oh yeah, we can just AI this stuff and we can just do this and make it look like that. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't really see a point to it other than saying, oh, I can do this with AI. I don't see how this is. It's definitely not better creatively. I will absolutely agree with that.
Like, it's important technology advancement.
Yes.
But it's just a lot more concerning because like there's not really like, okay, what's the purpose? What purpose does this serve other than to like entertain us, I guess?
Exactly. That's why I've never been as anti-AI as other people have. I'm not pro AI. I'm indifferent to it, I would say. Whereas I think it's cool that we can do that. I just don't think that should mean, oh, that's all we're ever going to do now. Like, no, absolutely not. That is not a good precedent to set, because that's what happened with CGI is like, oh, we have these movies like Jurassic Park and Terminator 2 that really put CGI on the map of people being like, wow, we can do this with movies now. And then we went too far with that. And then all of a sudden, a lot of movies have just all CGI in them and people hated it. But like, we don't want to do that. We don't want that to go that far with AI, which that might happen. I mean, it depends entirely. I don't know. The state of AI is it's changing every day. You can't really pinpoint it down.
Yeah. I like that also that you mentioned Jurassic Park, just because you have like I think the second one in here is like Chromosaurus, and so like my mind of like how like far like your dinosaur physics are like, not the physics are good, like as far as like textures, like I really need to see like a behind the scenes documentary of how Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, yeah, because Chromosaurus
like,
Chromosaurus was 1985. Jurassic Park was 93. That's 8 years.
Like, right, that is insane.
Yeah, that is insane.
But yeah, I think that I like that you brought up that like there are like like not as extreme but there are parallels to the fact that like hand drawn animation really did like get replaced kind of.
Yeah.
And like even like you're like okay, like like 2D animation still exists to a degree, but
absolutely
very rarely are you seeing like cell shading and like like hand drawn animation.
Right,
like,
you're definitely not
on like a feature length scale.
Yeah, because you're still
animation.
You're still gonna get 2D animated films because again, The Day the Earth Blew Up just recently came out. Yeah. That's a 2D animated film that got released in theaters.
As difficult as it was to get here,
right? But it does exist. The thing is, though, it's not actually hand drawn. It's all done in computers.
Right. And like people, like artists had to adapt to that.
Right.
That was just like,
but I think I haven't talked about the movie on the podcast at all, but like, so I'll just say this. I think it's great. But even though I know it was all done in computers, I still think it was able to really capture that Looney Tunes style pretty well, even though it wasn't hand drawn, but it was still 2D.
Right. It was not like Flash, like computer animate, like right, you gotta be careful how you say but like drawing on like like tablet or usually drawing tablets to some degree.
So like computer animation is definitely not in the same place it was in 1988, that's for sure. Because again, Day the Earth Blew Up looks like it was done on computers, but done so in a way that still emulates that Looney Tunes style. Like if you try to do a Looney Tunes movie in computer animation in 1988, it would not look like what it looked like in 2025.
Yeah. Okay. Did you see the advert at the very end of the tape?
Where it's like advertising university or something.
They're trying to sell you another tape.
They're trying to sell you another tape. Watch the second animation tape. It's like, no. no.
But it's they're like it's like a tech like it's not like they're demonstrating like these advanced drawing tablets, and they got like some like by their words, world class like painters or
their words
like artists.
Yeah,
to some degree, like using these drawing tablets to create stuff on the computer. So it's just cool to see like okay, that's where this was 25 or 35 years ago.
35 years ago, 36,
almost 40,
nearly 40 years. Jeez, that's it. We have come a long way since 1988, haven't we? 1988, same year as Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. It's cool. I thought this was very much worth watching, but is it something I want to keep in the collection? Absolutely not. No. This is not this is not worth keeping. I thought it would be cool enough to be like, oh, I want to keep it for like, I don't know, like with the 50 of the greatest cartoons VHS, keep that for the bit, or like keep it because I actually think it's a really cool thing to keep around. It's like, no. It was exhausting after a while. And the other thing too is like I can just find the majority of these on YouTube,
let alone the tape itself.
Rip. Exactly. Yeah, that's how you were able to watch it, was YouTube uploads.
There's like 3 or 4 uploads of this. Like some of them are missing content, but there's a lot of uploads. Surprising number of uploads.
Yeah, so clearly owning this tape means nothing. It's not worth it. And it's not funny enough like the 50 of the greatest cartoons VHS. It's hilarious. I still have that 2 years later. This is not. This would not be funny to keep around. It would just be taking up space, and I don't want it anymore. So I'm getting rid of it, unfortunately. But
R.I.P.
This was inevitable, I'm afraid. So I don't know. Do you want to keep it, even though you don't own it at all on VHS? Yeah.
I get a high quality rip off of YouTube.
One of the 3 that you had to watch.
Well, choices.
Oh man, the things we do for the podcast.
I said there was one more I did want to talk about.
Please.
Like the single like fully 2D animated one I did like enjoy. The Kiss Me You Fool.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that one?
I do remember that one. That was bizarre.
It was very like you familiar with the Rocky and Bullwinkle show?
Yes, I'm familiar enough with it. I've never watched it, but I'm familiar.
They always
with
had
it.
these in between. They always have these fractured fairy tale segments. It's very fractured fairy tales in that square. Yeah, it just takes a traditional, it's very the cadence and everything is very it's a slightly more profane than Rocky and Bullwinkle would get, but yeah, it's very it's a traditional fairy tale, and it's very just in your face and tongue in cheek and kind of modern. But yeah, it's the frog says, "My lust abounds." Yeah, it's just so yeah, that was just that's cool that because I'm sure at this time people definitely weren't thinking about computer animation for the purpose of 2D creating 2D. So I just thought it was cool that made it in, and frankly it ages better than just about everything else in this.
Sure.
And yeah, that was one of the few ones that had a very that one had a very stylized end credits too, where it's very clearly for it. But yeah, I just thought that was I enjoyed that one.
It was cool.
Wasn't yeah. Plant one on me. I was what the hell?
Europe. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Happily wedded hubby wubby.
Yeah. Fucking 80s.
You take this delectable. I can't remember what to say.
I don't remember.
The sound design was also fun on that one too. But yeah, it's it doesn't look great, but yeah, it's just very,
it's an interesting style.
Yeah. Yeah, it is fun. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, state of the art of animation computer. I already put it in the basket that I'm selling to Bull Moose. I don't know what the fuck is even called. I've already forgotten it. It's gone through one ear out the other. Mm-hmm. April Fools, everybody! April Fools.
And there was also I did feel some nostalgia for the ones where they basically the airplane one, the airplanes, spacecraft, the space shuttle were very those are the kinds of things that we you'd see in video games, especially it's very similar to how they look in video games 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of nostalgia. Well, that's cool. That's where it came from. I just remember you'd see stuff like that when I go Chuck E. Cheese. I remember seeing animations like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember other examples, but yeah, I was it's very
Chuck E. Cheese.
It's cool to see that was where this started.
Yeah, you're definitely making me think of that kind of stuff. That I absolutely would have seen it an arcade or Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. That sounds familiar.
I'm sure Flight Simulator. I'm sure.
Yeah,
looks very similar.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I think it was some of them were sponsored by NASA. It's interesting to consider okay, who all was putting money into this? Who kind of cared?
Who cared?
why did the cigarette company care? Why did they make it a dream of gold?
Yeah.
But we don't sell jewelry or gold, we sell cigarettes.
I guess I want to go smoke a cigarette now. Thanks, Benson and Hedges.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense why because that was one of the ones with flames in it too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, was that intentional?
I mean, you need a flame to light a cigarette.
You need a flame to burn a metal line in the gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what is a cigarette if not a metal lion on fire? The metaphor's a little messy, but it's there.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff will need a little more workshopping. Yeah, do you have anything
No.
Any other thoughts?
No, I've completely erased this video from my mind. What did we talk about?
I don't know, but I know we got something special in store for after this. We didn't just watch this one.
No, we didn't. That's true. We watched a second thing. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm so excited for this one.
Dude, this has been built up forever.
All those animation fans out there, this is what you've been looking for. This started back in the 80s.
Yep.
It's, we mentioned Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I feel like it's a very similar film. This is one of my all-time favorites. We've been waiting a long time to do this. I'm so excited. I'm so ready for the... Oh my god!
Oh my god, Swine, what's wrong?
Oh, they found me.
What?
You never take me alive, you bureaucratic pigs!
What the fuck just happened?
There was a little Spanish flea, a record star, he thought he'd be.
Hey, William, you busy?
No, not really. Why?
I got a problem. See, I was recording an episode with Ben, but he had to leave abruptly.
Damn, that's the first time this week.
Yeah, apparently he's like an international super spy or something. News to me.
What?
Well, anyway, I was wondering if you watched anything recently that we could talk about.
Okay, hang on, let me check. Hang on. I watched Harry and the Hendersons a couple of days ago. We could talk about that probably.
Wow, what a coincidence. So did I.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about that.
Great.
Okay, so Harry and the Hendersons. Okay, so that's what 1987.
Mhm.
Yeah. Directed by William Deere. No
Mhm.
relation. Same director as Angels in the Outfield, if you can believe that.
I do.
Yeah, I know, because we're looking right at it.
Yeah, Letterboxd hasn't lied to me yet.
Except when it has.
Except when it has. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot.
All right, so do we just want to? What's the first thing we want to talk about here?
What is this movie and why did we watch it? You know, I feel like this is because here's the thing: Harry and the Hendersons has just been in the background of the podcast for years. It feels like because this was originally supposed to be our very first movie we ever talked about on the podcast. I don't if you remember way back when. I think even
we were going to do that, but then
Yeah.
it turns out that it wasn't streaming anywhere,
No.
and I didn't actually own a copy.
Yeah.
So I just grabbed Big Trouble in Little China and called it a day.
Yeah, which was good. I ended up liking Big Trouble in Little China. It ended up working out. But I think even before I even started the podcast, I remember having this DVD of Harry and the Hendersons and being like, you know, it'd be funny is if me and William talked about it. And then it just kind of sparked from there. But yeah, I've been meaning to watch this. This has been a long time coming. Also, you gotta mention how you had a bit of you had some trouble trying to get this. You ordered on Blu-ray, right? Or was it 4K?
Yeah, so the first time I ordered a copy of it from Amazon, it was technically being shipped by Groove.
Yeah.
But then Groove just decided to never actually ship it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So I canceled the order and said, fuck it, I'll get it again some other time. So then like a year later, I ordered it again, and that time it actually showed up.
Yeah. So again, this thing has just been kind of in the background behind the scenes for years now. And only now are we talking about it. It's been a long time coming.
All because Ben had to leave because he's like a spy or something.
Or something. Yeah, exactly. But we finally watched it, and I just got to say, I liked it. It was good.
It's a perfectly fine, fun family movie from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, there's some elements that, like, aren't as kiddie as they be today, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that first sequence when we see Harry in the house is, like, filmed like a horror movie outright.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very funny.
Yeah, a lot of heavy shadows, a lot of interesting angles. It was awesome.
Do we want to start with the plot, or do we just want to talk about Harry himself real quick first?
The plot, just because it is a bit on the simpler side, where it's we have a family called the Hendersons, and they come across.
It's a very simple plot for this 2-hour movie.
Well, I mean, yeah, because a lot of it is just like the idea of this family comes across Bigfoot. You know, like that's as simple as it gets. But then the complexities come in the form of his interactions.
It's Bigfoot.
His Bigfoot's interactions with not only suburban American family but also suburbia in general. You know.
Yeah, and just the family's relationship with this creature they have picked up and formed a bond with.
Yes, yeah, it's classic E.T. but with Bigfoot. You know, like that was kind of the vibe of 80s family movies at the time.
Yeah. I mean, because, like, it's easy to forget just how big E.T. was nowadays.
Yeah. But it
like,
was
I even
huge.
remember, like, as a kid, when E.T. was celebrating this, like, 20th anniversary or something, it was, like, a big deal.
Mhm.
Like, when the DVD came out and they were, like, promoting E.T. everywhere. Like, he was on, like, cereal boxes, Chips Ahoy. There was like commercials all the time for the special edition DVD.
There's that
It was like a huge deal.
There's that very famous picture of him and Michael Jackson, and people say it's like the most 80s picture ever taken. Yeah, and then every some of my favorite movies from the year 1982 are often claimed to be huge box office bombs, stuff like Blade Runner and The Thing, and the movie that they always point fingers towards is E.T., because E.T. was such a massive hit that people were like, I don't want to go see The Thing or Blade Runner, I want to go see E.T. And, you know, a lot of people, I guess, are still salty about that, but E.T. was kind of the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, there was this one movie that was making all of the money that no one else could.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't quite the same thing. I brought this up before, but Streets of Fire, one of my favorite movies that doesn't get brought up all that often, came out the weekend after Temple of Doom, came out the same weekend as Star Trek 3, and the weekend before Ghostbusters and Gremlins.
It never stood a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously E.T., biggest thing ever. So of course, when you have this family come across this other creature, you're going to have some similarities in the plot where, oh, we have to hide this creature from normal people. Obviously, the government never gets involved. The main villain is a guy who's just obsessed with hunting down Bigfoot. But still, it's...
As Yar.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Yeah, that's basically it. And then, again, a lot of the scenes that happen just are not plot relevant. They're just gag/character relevant.
Yeah. It's one of those, it's less plot-driven, more character-driven, because it's like, even though, like, they just met this Bigfoot, they kind of did form a bit of a bond with him, and, like, they're worried about him out there, because it's like, they get him in the house, they realize he's not actually a threat, but they're like, well, we can't keep you here, go away. So he wanders out in suburbia, and then they realize, you know, that might not have been a very good idea. He might get hurt or hurt someone.
Yeah.
So then they have to quickly scramble to find him before it's, because at a certain point, it's found out that Bigfoot is in town, and everyone just assumes he's a monster. So it's like all the hunters are like buying guns all the time just to find him.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, we got to find him first so he doesn't get shot in the head.
Yeah. It's not a bad story. It's just, did this need to be an hour and 51 minutes, you know? Because that's when it's like, again, that's where we get back into, okay, it's not plot heavy, it's gag and character heavy, which is fine, but maybe then make it hour and a half, even 80 minutes, you know?
Yeah, it's like when I first watched it a couple of years ago, my reaction was, all right, they found him, so we're wrapping up. What do you mean there's still a half hour left? Which I feel like on rewatch was less of a problem, because it's like, I guess if they did end it there, it would have been a little unsatisfying.
Sure.
But, you know, it doesn't, this didn't need to be an hour 51 minutes.
Yeah. And it's not even that I hate any scenes, you know? I'm not that annoyed by the scenes necessarily. It's just the pacing is never truly justified by the end.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's one of those kinds of movies.
It is one of those kinds of movies.
No, mind you, it's not a bad thing.
No.
This is a perfectly fine film that you could watch with kids.
Yeah. It's very 80s. And I mean that, like, affectionately. I think it's a very 80s nostalgic movie that people grew up with randomly. That's never really talked about in the same breath as E.T., but you definitely have that cult group of people that are like, oh yeah, Harry and the Hendersons. And then
as one of those like hidden gem kind of things, or lesser known ones. Like let Rob like, oh, this is good too.
Yes.
And it is.
It is.
Normally when I see this movie brought up, it's because of something else entirely. Usually it's because of the horror people talking about it and segueing into it because of the involvement of one Rick Baker. Which I guess we can just lead into talking about Harry himself now.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about Harry himself, because what a special effect, dude. It rules.
Yeah, like we made it seem like this is a cheap, fun family film. What's not cheap at all is Harry, because his visual effects done by Rick Baker, who is most well known for his work in the horror genre. Biggest impact being American Werewolf in London, that transformation sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Along with a bunch of other things. Just look him up if you don't already know who Rick Baker is. I don't really think he needs much of an introduction.
No, we definitely have seen or are familiar enough with his work.
Yeah. And if you're listening and you're not, just Google him.
Yeah, Rick Baker.
Like that is a name that carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, exactly. Even if I can't name a movie right away, like I would not have been able to name American Werewolf at first, but I've absolutely heard his name before when talking about special effects.
And like what was the budget on this movie?
Oh, that's a good question. We should look that up.
10 million.
Okay, not bad.
And it made 50 million at the box office.
Okay, yeah.
So it did well.
Yeah.
It didn't light the world on fire, but it did well.
It did well enough, yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure like a good chunk of that budget may have just gone to Harry himself, because like the costume, the prosthetics, and everything is basically perfect.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. The amount of articulation in the face, just the size of him too, it's incredible.
And like the actor that plays him, Kevin Peter Hall, nails it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Peter Hall, mostly known for like doing costume roles like this. Like his other big claim to fame besides this was he was the Predator in the first 2 Predator movies.
Yes, yeah.
Now that's a different movie altogether. Imagine, Freddy and the Hendersons.
Ooh, I'd love that if Harry was in Predator and then Predator was in Harry.
It wouldn't be an hour and 51 minutes anymore.
No. It'd be 10 seconds. When Schwarzenegger sees Harry, he's just like, oh no.
Oh, I was saying when the Predator sees the Hendersons, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I think George could. Well, no, he couldn't. Maybe
no.
Maybe Nancy. No. Maybe little Bob. You never know. The neighbor would certainly put up a fight. I think Irene has it in the bag.
The sad thing is that, and I guess we can talk about the TV show later, but there was a TV show that ran for 2 seasons a couple years later.
Yeah.
And I think the main reason the TV show didn't go on longer was because, unfortunately, Kevin Peter Hall passed away in 1991.
Yeah, I see that.
Very sad story. He was in a car accident at one point, and he needed a blood transfusion for his injuries. And unfortunately, something went wrong and he contracted HIV.
No, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
The bad one.
Oh, fuck. And it was early 90s too. Man.
Yeah, the height of it.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, he was only like 35 when it happened. He died very young.
Fuck, dude. Oh man, that is. Oh, that's rough.
That's rough. Very sad.
Fuck. This is not the conversation I wanted to be having with Harry and the Hendersons. But it's true.
And like, because like he did a great fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, because like with buried under all those prosthetics, like he's still emoting wonderfully. Because like I'm sure there's maybe some animatronics in there, maybe, but like even still, like you still have to like do some of that yourself, and like that's not easy when you're buried under that much makeup. So like it's definitely impressive that he's able to do that.
Yeah, I mean because yes, the face is very articulate, but then the body needs to match that.
Yeah, and like Harry is like character too. It's like it's very clear he is not just some dumb animal. He's definitely sentient to a degree.
Yeah,
and like he's a big gentle giant. Anytime that he just looks at George Henderson. You just get like those big pearly whites and those eyes just staring deep into his soul.
And stop staring at me with them big old eyes.
He just looks at him like, Dad.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, I broke the stairs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when George is about to shoot him at first. Like, he catches him upstairs and he climbs up the ladder outside and he's about to shoot him. First of all, the scene there is edited brilliantly because it's very, like, quickly cutting back and forth between George with the gun and then you have Harry's shadow in the room, and the camera slowly zooms up to Harry and like his face becomes more prominent. You know, at first he's very heavily shadowed in the bedroom through the window, and so he genuinely does look like a threatening monster. But then the longer George looks at him and sees the way Harry is emoting, George then lowers the gun and starts to realize, wait a minute, this guy's not a threat. It's fantastically acted. By both Harry and John Lithgow as George. I mean, George, throughout the whole movie, John Lithgow does a great job. But like that scene particularly got to me where I'm like, holy shit, that's great. in a family movie, that was brilliantly edited.
Yeah, because like it also says a lot. It says a lot about Harry, and it says a lot about George as well.
Yes.
Because to get into that real quick, the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
This is outside of Seattle, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
They're a hunting family. They go camping every year, and they do go hunting. So like they have like taxidermy animals everywhere on their walls and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're a gun family.
Yes.
But like it shows that also all that maturity, and that they're not like the asshole gun people that you always see or hear about online. No, like these are just like the people who go hunting as a family trip, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And George works at a gun store, but as established later on, he just does that because it's owned by his dad.
Yes.
He works for his dad. What he actually wants to do is he wants to be an artist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you get these like little character moments like that, and it's really interesting to like see that, because I think it does a good job. It doesn't take away from the main plot, but it's still an interesting aspect to give to the character.
And it shows you how he became what he is today.
Exactly.
And just explains a lot without actually explaining anything.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Damn, it's almost like it's like a good script or something.
Yeah, this is a pretty good script. Like honestly, I like these characters, and that's because of this very strong script and how it's showing these characters and who they are as people.
And like, sure, they're not like the most deep characters. These are stock personas, but like they're done well.
Oh,
like you have the dad who's a bit, you have the gun dad, but like he means well and everything. You have the teenage daughter who is exactly what you expect from the 80s. The hyperactive son who's like, "Whoa, did you see that, Dad? Isn't that rad?"
Yeah.
You have the caring, kind mother, and you have the funny little dog.
Yeah, it's very much like the Troll 2 family, but fully realized.
Yeah. And like in a movie that's like normally good and not just funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the special effect monster is actually good instead of funny.
Yeah.
The fucking goblins in Troll 2, the one that's just like always in that one face.
Yeah. It's
brilliant.
It's perfect for a different reason.
It's perfect for the movie it's in.
Yeah.
Troll 2, greatest movie ever made.
Exactly. But yeah, no,
he's eating the corsage, and soon he's gonna eat me.
You don't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
Harry did not piss on anything in this movie, thank God.
No, but he still smelled like shit.
Yeah, that's like the only joke they kind of do like that. Like in other movies, you'd have like the piss joke or something in this, but no, they don't do that. It's just he is Bigfoot, so obviously he smells bad.
Yeah,
because he lives in the woods.
He lives,
but that's
in the woods.
Only joke they make like that.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's talk about more of these characters. So obviously we've talked about George. I feel like a lot, played by John Lithgow. I love him. I think he's great in this movie. He really gives it his all. Like the way he's acting in front of Harry, and like at the end, not to skip ahead a little, but the fact when he's like giving this very emotional goodbye to this gigantic puppet Bigfoot, and I'm like buying every single second of it from John Lithgow. It's phenomenal.
Well, there's also like the scene where he's like in the store yelling at his dad because his dad took the Bigfoot drawing and made it scary.
Yeah.
And like just like how big and important it is to him that like, you don't believe in my art. I'm telling you, this thing is not a monster, and you ruined it for this. This means something to me.
Yeah. Or like when he's on the news, like when he meets that guy who's just like, yeah, Bigfoot just picked me up and threw me across the way, and he's just like, that didn't happen.
It's like, yeah, you're right, it didn't.
That was so good. And he's just like,
and then Harry is seeing that on the TV because this is the point where like he's running around Seattle.
Yeah.
And he just sees George defending him on TV. It's dubious if he understands what George is saying, but he's just happy to see George, and he keeps accidentally unplugging the TVs and getting confused.
That's my homie. Where'd he go? The TV
and then like the fucking Crash Test Dummy commercial starts playing. And like the editing of that was also really slick because like it shows him like zooming in on the target too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was great.
The fucking Lorenzo music cameo.
I thought I recognized his voice. I'm like, is that Garfield? Wait a minute.
See, I did the funny thing for a second where like I heard that, like, was that Bill Murray? And I looked up, no, it's Lorenzo music. Oops. I did the funny.
I'm a level deeper than you then.
I defaulted to Bill when I sure went to Lorenzo. I'm sorry, Garfield, I failed you.
Let's talk about Nancy, played by Melinda Dillon.
Nancy's the mom, right?
Nancy's the mom, Melinda Dillon,
Yeah.
the mother from A Christmas Story.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is everyone from? Because John Lithgow doesn't really need any explanation. It's John Lithgow.
It's John Lithgow. You've seen him, but Shrek, Interstellar, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Blowout. There.
Yeah.
Anyway, Melinda Dillon, yes. Christmas Story mom, Close Encounters of the Third Kind mom, and
Captain America 1990 Mrs. Rogers.
I did not know she was in this.
She's in the Muppet movie as Woman with Balloon.
Really? Oh, I thought she was the woman who had the allergic reaction. No, I guess that was Cloris Leachman, I think. I don't know. I sometimes forget the Muppet movie cameos. But yeah, I know her mostly because she's the Christmas Story mother. But yeah, she's great. She plays the very neurotic mother very well. But very like she's very well meaning, but still neurotic. And then yeah, there's also the kids who haven't really been in much of anything else. I mean,
the daughter retired and is now the CEO of a publishing company.
I love that when you see like this child actor who is very famous in this one movie, and now they just do the most random, still moderately successful job, but still a job you would not imagine an actor at first doing, like CEO.
And the son, he was in Flatliners, which is probably like the biggest thing he's been in other than this. He was in Bride of Boogity, the sequel to Mr. Boogity.
We haven't watched yet.
And something called Cousin Kevin as Kevin, which was an after-school special with a young boy with the power to turn his overactive imagination into real-life adventures. It looks like there's a bird puppet in it.
That's interesting. Well,
the miniature and sets were cool for the time thanks to the Chiodo Bros. That's part of the official Letterboxd description. Only one person has logged on Letterboxd.
Shout out to Kyle Bird.
Thank you, Kyle Bird. Very cool. With the fucking Brundlefly profile picture. His favorite movies are Taxi Driver, Godzilla 54, The Fly, and Seven Samurai. He's part of the Kaiju Transmission podcast. He follows me.
Oh my goodness.
Like, oh, that's why it sounds familiar. I've probably seen him on Twitter at some point.
Oh wow, wow. Okay, this isn't like just one of our. So sometimes we'll just go down rabbit holes and see. Okay, this random movie. Who are its fans? And we'll just look at these random Letterboxd accounts. All of the time, they're great. They're great accounts. It's amazing. But like, wow, once we come across this kind of person and they just happen to follow you, that's wild.
It certainly never happened with someone that has shown up on the podcast that apparently follows me unrelated. Speaking of which, apparently Jenny followed me before this week.
Oh, look at that. The Too Many Movies cinematic universe grows.
This means that whoever is next means I have to follow whoever's going to be the podcast next. I wonder what that... There's no way that's going to happen though, right? It's Olivia.
Yeah, she should follow you.
No,
she shouldn't do that. That's weird.
That'd be dumb.
That would be dumb. Olivia, if you're listening to this, which you are.
Yeah, you should unfollow me right now and then refollow me so I get the notification.
Exactly. Yeah, do that.
You should unfollow everybody on your list and then refollow them in a row.
Except that one person. You know which one.
Cold Comfort. Well, the daughter's in Cold Comfort as Dolores Lucas.
How about that?
My American Cousin, Earth Star Voyager. That sounds like a Wheel Night movie waiting to happen.
Earth Star Voyager, yeah. James Goldstone.
Underground.
Is that Sissy? That's not Sissy Spacek. Never mind. That's her. That is the teenager. Okay, never mind. She looked like Sissy Spacek for a second.
It's on Tubi. We can watch it.
Oh, great. I know what we're watching 7 years from now.
Okay, so that's the kids. There's the I guess the neighbor lady who was watching their dog while they were away at first.
Yes, Irene.
And then Harry steals her flowers
Yeah.
to make it up to Sarah for eating her corsage earlier in the movie.
Yeah, the eating of the corsage comes back into play later in the movie when he gives her the flowers. And I was like, oh, is this Harry asking her out to prom? But it never happened. But I would have loved if Harry went to prom.
I think she's too young for prom because she specifies that was her 15th birthday corsage that she saved for 6 months.
Okay.
So she is 15 and a half years old.
Right.
So, which is a thing, like, you had a 15th birthday corsage. Was that a thing back then, or did you have a quinceañera?
I've never heard of this, and they do not look like they're Hispanic, so I don't know.
I can't believe Harry ruined her quinceañera.
That is so Harry. SMH.
Oh, Harry. If the Harry and Henderson's TV show kept going, he should have crashed someone's bar mitzvah.
I would love that.
I want the scene of him like holding up the chair.
Oh my god, yes. Yes. I would love that. Come on. Please let that be real. Please.
Because I was looking at clips of the TV show yesterday, and like there are other people outside the family that interact with Harry, so other people know about him.
Right. So would it be like,
So, like,
is Irene like a character, like the neighbor?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe she has a son or daughter that's having a bar or bat mitzvah soon.
Yeah.
And it can be the episode about like Jewish culture and religious tolerance.
I mean, well, so Irene, the actress for Irene, was in a movie we were gonna watch for wheel night, Oy vey, my son is gay, and then we gave up like 15 minutes in.
Yeah, because it was boring.
Yeah, because we've been trying to chase that Little Italy high for years now, and we almost had it with My Big Gay Italian Wedding, and we were sorely disappointed, but we thought, hey, maybe Oy vey, my son is gay will be... No, it wasn't. It was also boring.
She's also in Pixels.
Yep.
She's also in My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yep.
She's also in You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Mm-hmm.
She's in One from the Heart, the Francis Ford Coppola movie that looks like a musical but isn't a musical.
You're almost there, William.
She's in the... I see it. I'm building up to it.
I know.
She's in the live-action Bratz movie.
Uh-huh.
She's in this movie. She's in Beaches, one of my mom's favorite movies, which is just such a mom thing to do.
Yep.
She's in the other 2 Big Fat Greek Weddings because they made 3 of them, apparently. And she's in, of course, Giggly.
Yeah. One more.
Yeah, the poster right underneath the thing you actually want me to talk about.
Yeah, I want you to talk about it.
Old woman singing voice.
You can only avoid it for so long.
She's not even actually in A Crazy Night. She's just a singing voice for someone.
I guess she's friends with Adam Sandler, and he's just like, hey, you want to be in my animated movie?
It's like, she's not even actually a character. She just covers someone for singing purposes.
Yeah,
So she's probably in the Bum Bitty 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 Bum song.
Was she the woman who's like...
I don't know.
She's probably the woman who asked Whitey to prom and then was like, haha, psych.
Yo, she's in a Hagar the Horrible special.
Oh, thank God. I was wondering.
When are we going to get the Sunday Funnies cinematic universe?
Dude, I'm waiting so very patiently for that.
We got to get our Beetle Bailey movie. We got to get the Hagar movie. We got to get the Kathy movie. The Family Circus movie. We got to get the Pearls Before Swine movie.
Keep it going.
The Get Fuzzy movie. The Far Side will probably get something at some point.
I think Heathcliff is due for a return.
Yeah, we gotta get a new Heathcliff movie.
Is Dilbert still controversial? I know the creator is, but is Dilbert itself still controversial?
Just wait till the creator dies of a heart attack and then do it.
Okay.
He gives me big cheeseburger everyday energy. Honestly, he'd probably get arrested for like tax fraud or something.
So that sounds very likely.
Yeah.
He made a fucking cartoon, a fucking comic strip about working in an office. He probably knows a thing or two about tax fraud.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Harry and the Hendersons? What is this movie?
The greatest movie ever made.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I wanted to talk about this. The father character, played by M. Emmett Walsh, who has been in a couple of things, actually, a couple of very significant things. I think most famously he was the Chief in Blade Runner, but he's also had minor roles and stuff like the Iron Giant and Knives Out and Raising Arizona. But yeah, I've seen him around in a lot of movies, and he plays the dad here. And that's the thing with the dad storyline. I think it ends fine, but I feel like we needed to make maybe one more scene of the dad being included, and then it would probably be a lot more solid. Because like they just have like him like confessing up to his dad, like, "Oh, you never appreciate my art," and then we never see the dad again. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I feel like we need one more scene after that with that storyline. You know what I'm trying to say?
Like, they don't even really need the dad for that. They could have just had like another scene of like George trying to draw something and like giving up on it because of it.
Sure.
Because the dad is there more to like establish George than to establish himself.
Yeah. It is
like the relationship. It says more about George than it does the dad.
Yeah, I guess. It is weird though that like George has been working at this gun shop for years now, and he doesn't realize that one of their most popular customers is the guy he doesn't recognize, who is LaFleur, the Bigfoot hunter. He's like, "Who's that?" It's like, "That's our best customer, LaFleur. He gave us this giant bear statue." It's like, huh, how did I never notice this guy before? That's weird. Anyway.
I mean, if you work retail, would you remember every single person that ever walks in the store?
Not every single person, but maybe the guy who gave you the giant bear, the giant taxidermy bear. It is very funny, though, because it does make a funny joke where they're just like, yeah, he gave us this giant taxidermy bear. It's like, oh, why doesn't he not want it anymore? And
because it's one of the smallest ones he has.
That's funny. I like that joke.
That's one of those things that's more there to be exposition for the audience.
Yes, absolutely.
I guess we can talk about that guy now, the main villain of sorts.
LaFleur, Jaco.
Who also has like 5 other names for some reason.
For some reason, yeah. He's funny. You know, I liked his... He definitely didn't have like amazingly funny villain presence, but he got the job done. Like, occasionally he had a funny scene here and there.
Yeah, he's not really in the movie enough.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like we spend more time with the good doctor guy.
Yeah. Kind of like the same, like, different side of the same coin. You have Dr. Wallace Wrightwood, who is the Bigfoot researcher. So, obviously, he wants Bigfoot to research, whereas LaFleur wants Bigfoot as a hunting trophy.
As a prize.
Yeah, as a prize. And it's like, I like that I like how LaFleur kind of, you know, he doesn't die in the movie. You have Harry kind of win him over with kindness. It's a good lesson to have for the kids, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if this villain was maybe a little bit more well established, I feel like that would hit a lot harder. Again, it's not bad, and I don't hate it inherently. I just feel the execution is not quite up there as it could be.
Yeah, he doesn't really, and like we don't really see like his other trophies really establish him as much of a threat other than just him stalking the woods at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, it's like everyone else in town is just as much of a threat as he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just like the scene like after George rescues Harry from like the trash bin, where all the other hunters show up and just aim their guns at LaFleur.
It's a good visual. But yeah,
funny bit.
Exactly. You know, yeah, you're right. That, and like he spends a good chunk, not a good chunk, but he does spend time in jail, and he's just kind of there.
There's the good visual bit of like him pacing around the jail cell and everyone else trying to keep away from him.
Yeah, because he smells bad.
And he's also insane.
Yeah, that too.
This guy keeps talking about Bigfoot. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, at that point, they know he exists, so...
Yeah. I will say, I think the most significant joke I like from LaFleur is at the very end, once he's learned from his ways and being like, well, I guess I can't hunt Bigfoot anymore. And so Wrightwood asks him, like, oh, what are you going to do now? And he goes, well, there's always Loch Ness. It's like, I can't believe he's going to go find Jack the Ripper now.
Okay, which do you think is more plausible, Bigfoot or Nessie?
More plausible. I mean, how many photos do we have of supposed Bigfoot, and how many photos do we have of supposed Loch Ness? Because I can imagine the two very famous photos of quote unquote Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster.
Well, and we know that like the famous one of Nessie also is a confirmed fake.
Oh, it's a confirmed fake. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one we know is confirmed fake.
Right. I mean,
the film for Bigfoot is dubious still.
Right.
Technically.
Well, here's the thing. If we haven't found these creatures yet at all, I would assume they don't exist. But I would say, objectively speaking, we know less about underwater than we do in the middle of the Pacific Northwest. So,
I suppose I would also argue, though, that, like, how big is that lake?
Yeah, that too. How big is that lake? Well, I'm just saying, like, in general, you know, I don't know.
I get, like, it's more likely that there's something that could resemble Loch Ness somewhere in the ocean, maybe.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's my logic going there. Look, I would love if Bigfoot was real. Absolutely love it. But I just don't think we have enough evidence. I also have zero expertise in researching Bigfoot, actually. So, you know.
Like, it's a matter of, like, stuff like cryptids is the purpose of them is to be like, it's not so much that Bigfoot exists. It's more just like, we saw something that kind of resembles this, and it's to explain things we could have seen until we actually figure out what it is we're seeing.
Right.
So it's less about there being this Bigfoot monster thing in the woods, and more of, oh, there could be like some undiscovered species. So we want to try to see if there's something there.
Yeah.
Because like there have been like things that start out as cryptids, and then we establish they're real, and we figure out what they actually are. Like giant squids were originally we thought to be a myth. And then turned out, nope, they are real. And that explains the Kraken.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
There actually is an explanation for the jackalope if you want to hear it.
Please do, actually. What?
So, the thing that you have to understand is, like, this stuff started from the Wild West.
Yes.
So, it turns out there's, like, this weird disease that rabbits can get sometimes that has little tumors form on their heads.
Okay.
They're benign tumors that are not at all life-threatening. They're just like a weird growth that can be on a rabbit sometimes.
Okay.
So, Wild West, cowboys, people who boast all the time and tell tall tales, what is most likely is that someone probably saw one of those rabbits with the little growths on the head, and they say, hey, I saw this weird rabbit with this little growth on its head. And then his buddy tells the next guy the story, and the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy. And pretty soon, this rabbit with this growth on this head became, yes, my buddy saw this rabbit with these huge antlers. There is no jackalope. It's just that someone probably saw a rabbit with like the weird growth on its head, and then that story blew up into a rabbit with antlers.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
It's like, they're not actually trying to tell you that the jackalope is real.
Right.
It's just an explanation for this thing that we saw.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe there wasn't actually a Bigfoot. Maybe it's just like, oh, the ape escaped from the zoo and ran over the woods. Or like, maybe there could be this weird species of bear that we don't know about somewhere.
Yeah.
That could be what it actually is.
Yeah.
If we want to get like into the truth of what it is.
Mm-hmm. We'll never know until we actually know. Because again, it's never going to be 100% clear, because Earth is a very big place, and the Pacific Northwest, pretty big. There's probably some like territory out there that people have not gone to yet.
Or just went to at the wrong time.
Right, that too, yeah.
Yeah. Because I actually was looking up like the history of it, and like the Bigfoot that we know of did start around like the mid 1900s, but like there are stories of other like big hairy beasts that have been told throughout history too in America. Yeah, from like Native American folklore. Mm-hmm. Oh, so like there's always unexplained phenomena.
Of course.
So like the version that we have now of Bigfoot is just the newest version of those old myths from that same area.
Yeah.
It could be of many things. It could have been a bear. It could be like escaping from the zoo. Maybe there is some undiscovered species out there, but like it's not literally Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. There is no one missing. There is no one Bigfoot even, because even if there was, it'd be dead by now.
That too.
That film was from the 60s.
Yeah, that too. Or Harry is real and he's actually out there.
But yes, Harry is definitely real. We play poker with him every Thursday. His favorite food is fried chicken wings, boiled in milk first and then fried.
Oh,
It makes it juicier.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of the movie Bedtime for Bonzo.
He actually is in the movie.
Yeah, that's true. That's a scene in the movie where, like, once he moves in the house for the first time, Ernie puts him on the recliner and he's just watching fucking Bedtime for Bonzo and having the time of his life.
He loves it. He makes me, yeah, you know what? Now I got to see Bedtime for Bonzo. I got to see what this is all about.
I feel like the joke there was just a matter of, hey, isn't it funny that this guy's president now?
Yeah, that too. But also, I think they wanted to have, like, oh, I don't know, monkey movie, you know?
Yeah, because he's Bigfoot, Sasquatch, giant ape man.
Yeah, close enough.
Movie about an ape living with someone. They do another bit later on once Harry is moved in, once they get Harry the second time, and they're taking care of him, where, like, the Addams Family intro is playing.
That was kind of lost to me, because I'm like, okay, what's the...
I think the correlation is just a matter of, oh, we're such a weird family now because we have Bigfoot as a family member.
I guess, yeah.
And, like, the Addams Family is weird.
I guess that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I get it, but it's like, okay.
Is Cousin Eddie the Addams Family, or is that the Munsters?
Cousin Eddie, the one who's just like a big fucking mound of hair.
Yeah,
that's Addams Family.
Yeah, he's Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I got.
Okay, yeah. It works for me.
Oh, Harry.
Yeah. Good for Harry.
When Harry first comes to the house, like, after they hit him with the car and bring him in that night, that sequence is filmed kind of like a horror movie to start with.
Yeah. You had mentioned that, how, like, a bunch of horror heads bring up this movie.
Because of the Rick Baker stuff mostly. But,
right.
Once they realize Harry is not a threat, well, I guess even a little bit before the gun scene, because it's like, he doesn't even attack them. Like, the first thing that makes him mad is when he sees the deer head on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, he sees that and, like, oh, it's a deer, starts petting it. And then he looks around and realizes, hey, wait, this is on a wall. Wait. And he looks around and sees the other room and, like, where's the rest of it?
Yeah. That's out of Looney Tunes, man. Yeah, he just
punches the fucking wall. There is no deer here. And then he just starts taking all of their taxidermy and starts burying it in the ground outside.
Yeah.
Just like he's the gravekeeper.
Yeah, that's great.
And, like, they call back to that later because it's like they do it again at the end after he hides everything in the closet. And, like, oh, we're having roast beef for dinner. Where's the roast? In a shallow grave outside.
But we have other things.
I think another good bit, though, is when George is first hiding all the stuff in the closet and they're trying to keep Harry outside. And the mom's just, like, trying to keep him outside.
Yeah.
And Harry's just, like, very gently trying to open the door. And she just, like, gently pushes his hand in. And hand back outside, like... And then she just gives up, like, just come in.
I also just love how many taxidermied heads of deer and other animals they just have all over their walls. Like, my grandpa had taxidermy deer heads at his house growing up, but he only had 2 of them. But, like, I remember my grandpa being the hunter, and so then when I would go over to his house, you just had 2 deer heads hanging up on the wall. Whereas this family... like, every square inch of their wall just has these fucking animal heads hanging up, and George is just like, fuck, I gotta take these down.
I mean, again, it's just like establishing the family without having to actually tell you this information. They're just showing it to you.
Yeah.
Good world building in this Harry and the Hendersons picture.
I like it.
Because they do get a lot of good information about the family out without having to, like, take the time to say it. Because, like, they're just already out on the trip. And it's like they... make this point of Ernie getting his first kill with the rabbit, and, like, we'll bag it up and we'll cook it later because we gotta get home.
Yeah.
And, like, the interaction with, like, the daughter and the mom tell you enough about them right off the bat. Ernie, get me my rifle. I didn't bring my rifle. Ernie, get me my rifle. You did bring your rifle.
You lied.
Well, he also lied about Harry being dead.
Yeah. It doesn't have a pulse. Well, then short movie then, like, geez.
I think he just doesn't know how to check for pulse.
Yeah, well, he doesn't look like a doctor. He works at a gun shop, so he probably...
He's the opposite of a doctor. Doctors are supposed to keep you alive. He's a hunter. If a hunter keeps things alive, that's kind of the opposite of what a hunter is.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of Elmer Fudd cartoons. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's always so successful, too.
Yeah, he's looking for that wabbit.
And you know what? Elmo does kill bugs once, technically.
Oh?
Yeah, well, what'd you expect in an opera? A happy ending? Technically.
It counts.
Oh no, I killed the wabbit.
Killed the wabbit, killed the wabbit.
What'd you expect in an opera? A happy ending? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, classic episode.
I can't wait to force Olivia to watch more Looney Tunes tonight against her will.
Ooh, yes.
Every comment on her next video is just going to be Looney Tunes.
Yes, yes.
And then she's going to be mad at us for this. William, how? What the fuck? She wouldn't say that because she doesn't say fuck. Good for her.
Shut up.
And then she's going to laugh. And then she's going to try to say something and then laugh again. And she's going to stop.
And then you'll say monkey. And then it's all over from there.
Well, there is a monkey in this movie because of Bentai Merbanzo.
Right, exactly.
Okay, what else?
Yeah, I'm trying to think because it's just a good movie, you know. I can't really say this is what I was kind of expecting, one of those wacky 80s movies, kind of like Earth Girls Are Easy, where it's not incredibly popular, and then when we discovered it, we were just like, what the fuck is this?
I'd seen it before suggesting it to you. I just thought it'd be funny to suggest it to you.
It is funny because it is inherently funny. You have a Sasquatch movie and he interacts with the Hendersons, and I mean the title Harry and the Hendersons is a laughably that's a funny title for a movie. And then you just watch it and it's just funny, you know. It's just a fun, good time. I can't really say this is up there with Earth Girls Are Easy, where I'm like going, what the fuck am I watching every 5 seconds? Well,
I think more people know about Harry and the Hendersons than Earth Girls Are Easy.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's not a bad thing. I don't want to say this is a bad movie because it's not. It's genuinely good. It's good. It's tightly written for what it is. Could it be a little better?
Generically good.
Generically good. But I mean that in the most affectionately way possible.
Yeah. Like, there's not like one thing that's, I guess, besides like the Harry effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the creature effects are very well done because they got a horror guy to do them.
Yeah. But then,
it's like that one random kids show that had Tom Savini do the monster effects for some reason.
Yeah. Fucking Ghost Rider, purple slime monster. Yeah.
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 Like that.
Yeah, no. Because you can definitely feel the rest of the movie isn't that expensive looking. I mean, even the climax.
It's shot very well and lit very well.
Yeah, but
it's just made very competently. It looks good because shot on film for the time.
Yeah.
And like the music's good. I brought this up to you like in DMs, but the composer for this movie, Bruce Broughton, composer of. Let me go grab those screenshots real quick. Yeah, composer for Tombstone, The Monster Squad, Rescuers Down Under, the Mara Wilson Miracle on 34th Street, both Homeward Bound movies, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, the Three Musketeers.
Ooh, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas.
Baby's Day Out.
Oh, yes.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Both of the theatrical Roger Rabbit shorts.
Cool.
The Ice Pirates. The Tiny Toons Summer Vacation movie.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And he's done other things I don't care about. He did that Mara Wilson Simple Wish movie.
Yeah, I only know of it through the Nostalgia Critic review.
Do you like Bambi 2? I hope not, but he did the music for it.
I hate Bambi 2.
Well, it's okay, because Honey Blew Up the Kids.
Good.
He did the music for that one.
I figured.
But yeah, very good music, competent composer.
I liked it.
Did a lot of work.
Yeah. That's the thing.
There's also the movie also ends with a fucking Take on Me pencil illustration credits sequence.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome, the fucking Take on Me pencil sketching of certain scenes throughout the movie. But it's like, this is very random. Yeah, it's very random. It's awesome,
with
but
that
very random.
With that extremely 80s ballad playing in the background.
Oh yeah, who was the singer who did that? Because like,
God, I don't know.
There's a movie I watched recently that ended on a weird 80s ballad. It was fucking The Bone Collector ended on a weird 80s ballad, but it's like, this is in 1999, and you have a song sung by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, of all people? It was bizarre.
Bruce Braun composed the score and co-wrote Love Lives On with Barry Mann, Cynthia Weil, and Will Jennings, performed by Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible. That rules. Yeah, no, but those sketches were fucking phenomenal. They were great. I mean, here's the thing. Now that I think about it, they were absolutely put in there because, again, you have George, who is an artist at heart in the movie. And so I guess they wanted to play into that a little bit more. It was just weird that they were like, let's do it in the style of the Take on Me music video.
Because it's the 80s.
Yeah, I guess it's the 80s. Again, it's cool. I liked it. It added an extra flavor to the credits. And it's like, that's cool. That, you know, you don't just have the credits be a black screen with white text going up. You actually put some effort into showing like a bit, giving, like I said, giving it a bit of flavor in the credits of all places.
And you do that with an 80s love ballad.
How else would you do it?
With an 80s heavy metal song or an 80s hip hop song.
Well, that's how you would do it.
I feel like that's how any other family film like this from the late 80s would do that.
Oh yeah, late 80s, absolutely late 80s.
Yeah, like
rap.
they would absolutely have that hip hop song.
Oh, we could have had Harry do rap. Fuck.
Yeah, he'd be like in the fucking Cosby sweater with the sunglasses on. Every line would be a pun about his feet are big.
Yes.
Which, there was a song about that in the movie. Your feet's too big.
Oh,
no,
yes.
that wasn't in the movie. That was in the TV show. That's a famous one on the TV show.
I was gonna say I did not recognize the Big Feet song, but like, yes, that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Was in the TV show.
Make. I mean, we can't because it's the 80s are over. If we did this now, it would be pathetic. But back in the 80s, they should have had Harry rap. That would have been the best thing ever.
Just have him put him over the Goof Troop opening.
Yes. The Goof Troop opening. There you go. Now we're talking.
Oh, Harry. Yeah. You Henderson, you.
Well, speaking of late 80s culture, I wanted to talk about this. There's a bunch of trading cards for Harry and the Hendersons. This was
every movie had them.
I know. So a couple of years back, I was at a thrift shop on Long Island, and I'm just like looking through random crap, because random kitschy crap, and I come across a stack of Harry and the Hendersons trading cards, and I'm like,
were they from Topps?
Yeah, Topps specifically, 1987, Universal Studios. Yeah, Topps Chewing Gum Ink, printed in USA. Yeah. No duh. They're very cardboard. They're very 80s cardboard. They're great. I'm not going to go through them now because there's like 77 cards and we do not have time to go through every single one of them. But maybe someday I'll do like a live stream and I'll just like go through every single one of the Harry and the Hendersons trading cards. Cause wow. But I just think that's really funny that this movie of all movies gets a trading card. Like you said, yes, a lot of movies back in the day, but I'm thinking
like I have a couple random ones from a little shop.
Yeah. Like, I feel like movies like Star Wars or E.T. even, like, that makes sense to me. Like, they're so big that they had trading cards. Harry and the Hendersons, I'm like, what are we going to do with Harry and the Hendersons trading cards, you know?
Maybe they thought the movie would be a bigger hit.
I guess. Yeah.
Because, like, you have to make that stuff ahead of time. So, like, they probably just, like, anything they get the rights to that they feel could do well, they would do that. And in the event it blows up, boom, money.
Yeah, that's true too. But hey, I have almost 7. I don't think I have the complete set, but I have almost 77 cards of the Harry and the Hendersons Topps trading cards. So that's something.
Is there a card of him eating the corsage?
I don't think so. No. Yeah,
Damn.
no. There's just a bunch of like character cards and then like scenes throughout the movie, like Harry, friend or foe. Yeah, it's funny. So I don't.
Yeah, that's how they did them back then.
Yeah. So
it's always just like a screenshot of the movie and then like a pun.
Yeah. I think there might have been a deleted scene included in this, which is really funny. So to add on, like you said, like they did this ahead of time, so they probably thought, oh, this is going to be a scene in the movie, but then they cut it out. But there's still a trading card of that. That's so funny.
And like this was all, and like nowadays, like that's on the Blu-ray probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like back then, like that was not a normal thing to have deleted scenes like as a bonus feature, because bonus features didn't exist yet.
Well, yeah, I mean the DVD I have for this movie, the special edition, it also comes with deleted scenes. I didn't watch any of them, but I would absolutely guarantee that one of the deleted scenes would be the one that's a trading card. I think it's like the little boy Ernie gives Harry like his Walkman, because you see there's a scene later in the movie when Harry just randomly is like listening to a Walkman.
Yeah,
and so I guess
that
they
was
had
probably
a scene.
Just part of that scene that they just cut for time.
Yeah, where you can just cut to a scene of Harry wearing a Walkman, and that explains it all.
Yeah, fill in the blank. Just fill in the blank.
Which
and that's like when they invite the good doctor guy to their house and have dinner. He's just like doing that to like buy time until they're ready for him to actually come up.
Yeah.
And it's like Harry's just walking as slow as possible up to him just so he doesn't just hear the giant feet walking. He almost bonks his head on the ceiling again.
Yeah.
And then everyone just starts laughing. He's right behind, like, what the fuck are you laughing at? What the?
He's right behind me, isn't he?
And then he just jumps and falls to the floor again.
Sit. Yeah, because they tell him to sit, because early in the movie he's like, Harry, sit, and then he just like jumps on the couch and breaks it. And so then when he's just like, you trained him to sit, and Harry instinctually is like, sit, and he jumps through it, falls into the basement.
Oh, Harry.
We're
still working out the kinks. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The way he just like picks up the dog early in the movie and just starts petting it.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, any scene with Harry holding the dog was good in my book.
How do you feel about like the literal ending when we see the other big feet?
Well, so yeah, that adds into the climax. So the climax is just them on the highway, and they have
and Harry imitates a police car.
That was funny, because I'm just like thinking, like, are people not turning around? Who cares? It's a funny visual of seeing Harry stick his head out the window and just like go like, Rah! And it's supposed to be a police siren. Like, that's funny. But then yeah, it's just. I would
rather pull over for Bigfoot than for the cops.
Right, exactly, because Bigfoot's not going to give you a ticket. Unless it's a ticket to go see Harry and the Hendersons in theaters.
I think he would eat all the tickets.
That too, he would do that. He would absolutely do that. But yeah, then it's them in the forest, and it's not over yet. Yeah, I can understand you when you were thinking like, yeah, it's not over yet. They're still going, because you have LaFleur still tracking him down, and they're just like walking around, like trying to throw him off his groove, and the day is saved. Yeah, and then it's revealed, oh, there's a whole family of Bigfoots. And
it's like, so is that implied to be his family, or is that just more Bigfoots?
Yeah, that, I guess, yeah, we don't really need to know. It's not that important to the story, but it is interesting that they kind of just introduce it kind of last second.
And it's like, if that is his family, they didn't really do any emphasis on him trying to get back to them at all.
Right, yeah.
Which is what kind of makes me think it might just be more Big Feet.
Yeah.
Especially when you bring up the fact that the TV show exists where he just straight up lives with them like Alf.
Yeah. That sounds awesome, though. I gotta watch this show. This sounds awesome.
There's only, not the whole series is online, but there's a couple episodes.
Yeah.
They're obviously in VHS quality.
Hey, that's never stopped me before.
I don't think the show has ever gotten a re-release.
No.
But Kevin Peter Hall does reprise the role.
Yeah. I would imagine he's probably the only one who reprises the role.
Yeah, the only one.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's doing the effects for the TV show, but like Harry still looks about the same. They didn't cheap out at all, which is impressive.
Yeah.
We got a Japanese guy directing a movie with Harry in it, and then he's wearing like a white smock and a blue hat.
Wait, explain that to me. Sorry.
That picture I sent you yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in a white shirt with a blue baseball cap on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a movie now.
That's awesome.
Your exact words were, "This goes hard."
Yeah, that was my exact words, because it is a good image. It's a very good image.
Is it as good as an image as Peppy the Pineapple?
No, Peppy's different. Peppy's built different.
Peppy's built different than everything, including everything else on that VHS tape.
Yeah.
Everything else on the VHS tape you talked about with Ben.
Yeah, we talked about
that.
Yeah,
the part that we talked about, that we definitely recorded before this section.
Definitely.
You already have the file right now. You're staring at it.
I'm staring at it right now.
Yeah, we definitely already recorded that part of the podcast.
No recording stuff out of order on this podcast. No siree.
Yeah.
So Harry and the Hendersons.
Movie.
It is a good movie. I liked it, and honestly, I'm keeping this DVD. I know it's a DVD, but
you got it for like $5 probably at Walmart, if anything.
I don't remember how I had this. I just, looking at it, I feel like wherever I got it, I just found it and I went, well, it's Harry and the Hendersons. I have to keep it. I gotta. And I am. I'm gonna keep it. It's going right here next to Legally Blonde. I'm keeping it. It's a good movie.
We should make too many movies trading cards for all like the big important characters and movies we did.
Yeah.
Like we pick like one important character from each movie or series.
Yeah.
And they're just like, so it's like you collect them all and like they're all in random orders because it's just the order we did the episodes. So you just have L next to Gene Generation Lady and Harry.
Dude, absolutely. You're joking? I would unironically do that. That sounds amazing. Like, I'm gonna do that right now, actually.
You taught him how to sit? What, like it's hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just and then right after him is Marlon Brando from whatever that Western is.
Yeah, One-Eyed Jacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I hope that's the next episode and I don't look like an idiot, because I don't like saying what the next episode is, just so then in case something goes wrong and we can't make it the next episode, I don't look like a fool. So
aren't you recording it on Tuesday?
That's the plan. Recording it on Tuesday, which this is when
Wednesday.
This is when that episode's coming out, is Tuesday.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
For that thing that we totally didn't plan 10 months ago.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah. There definitely was no bit to this episode at all.
No, this was all completely random.
Yeah.
Everything that's happened, the past however long this episode is it was a complete surprise to me. I did not prepare for any of this.
This was definitely off the cuff.
This is definitely off the cuff.
I am under NDA.
I definitely naturally wrote out that Q&A for people on Letterboxd.
Yeah, that was definitely not a placeholder for Harry and the Hendersons.
Definitely. Nope, not at all. Nope. Nope.
Nope. I'm hiding all the deer in the garden. Nope. Shallow grave, Harry. Harry, you don't punch. He punched so many walls into that house.
Yeah, and then when he left, everyone was like, "Which way did he go? Which way did he go?"
How much do you think it's going to cost for them to fix the house?
1980s money. I'm gonna say 7.
Couple of Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
Yeah, just a couple. How do we want to end this? Because do you want to shout out your stuff, or where can people find you? No, okay.
I want to shout out Ben's stuff because he didn't get the shout out because he got attacked by the Czechoslovakians.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out Ben's stuff. It's the least you could do.
Ben. Mm-hmm. There, I shouted it out.
Okay, there you go. You can find Ben in Czechoslovakia. Oh wait, it doesn't exist anymore. Never mind.
Oh yeah, because after he got done from.
Yeah. Yeah, Czechoslovakia. If you've never heard of Czechoslovakia, folks,
I wonder why.
There's a reason for that.
Like whenever I get a Czech film from Deaf Crocodile, I always look like, okay, is this in just Czechia, the Czech Republic, or Czechoslovakia? Which is it when this came out?
Depending on when Ben got to them. The answer may vary.
Because like I've seen all free on releases from them from movies from that region.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when did it happen when they split up?
Early 90s it would have been. I don't remember which year. My brain is telling me 93. I don't know if that's correct or not. All I know is that here's a fun fact. When I was a kid and I was in band class in middle school, I played my dad's old saxophone, and that saxophone was labeled as saying made in Czechoslovakia. And I remember being like, "Oh, Dad, where's Czechoslovakia?" He's like, "It doesn't exist anymore. It's now either the Czech Republic or Slovakia." And I'm like, "Oh, that's how old this thing is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, when you played a Nova, Harry showed up
Mm-hmm.
because he loves the saxophone.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I was in 5th grade. I played the saxophone. I played my first saxophone note, and Harry showed up.
Oh, you know what's a good line that we didn't talk about in the movie?
What's that?
Like when the dogs are like, "So are you vegetarians?" And they're just like, "Sometimes."
Sometimes. Oh my god! I didn't even pick up on that. Fucking Scooter Tricks strikes again. God damn it.
Because it's established that Bigfoot is a vegetarian. No, he's a pescatarian because he eats fish.
He eats fish. Yeah, I'm with you guys.
You know, I don't understand like that because like fish is still an animal. It's still meat.
Yeah.
So why are we sometimes allowed to eat fish if you're a vegetarian and sometimes not?
I think it's because fish are stupid and shut up.
They're stupid and ugly, so we should kill them.
Yeah. Hey, that's my logic.
Is it just because it's assumed there's plenty of them?
I guess, but then it's like there's like a trillion chickens.
How many chickens are there?
Yeah, there's like trillions of chickens on the planet. Like, are we? Yeah. So this is why I'm not a vegetarian or like anything like that. It's like I don't care what I eat. Okay, I just want to eat. I'm just hungry. Okay, give me my burger.
Like, I get if it's for like health reasons.
Sure.
Or if like you just. Like if you just don't like meat anyway, as is like understandable.
Yeah.
Because that's just what you like.
Absolutely.
But like if we're getting to like the moral reasons for it, it's like well, there's so many of them, and we can talk about whether it's ethical to breed them specifically for this purpose or not. But like, there's so many if there's so much fish, it's like, what's the problem here?
Right, exactly. And again, if you want to take it to the moral issues of being like, oh, I don't want to eat anything that's alive. Well, guess what? Plants are alive. So when you're eating vegetables, you're eating.
I mean, there's a difference between a plant being alive and a chicken being alive, but
right, but it's still living. It's still living essentially. So like that's why it's never really mattered to me in that sense. It's like, look, if that's your choice, good for you. You should keep it because that's your decision making. I have my decision making.
Now, mind you, if like vegetarian options were more abundant and the same price as everything else, then I'd imagine I probably would get the vegetarian stuff more often because it's healthier at that point.
Sure.
Like if we can do that, then that'd be great. But like, well, it's not cheaper and it's not in the same aisle.
Yeah.
So until they figure that out, which I'm imagining that the meat industry is probably a part of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Them out,
yeah.
But like, if we get that legislation through and let them actually be in the same aisle and make it more abundant, then I probably would. But like, if the Impossible Whopper costs a little more than a regular Whopper, I'm gonna get the regular Whopper.
My thoughts exactly.
What 80s mascot would Harry be best friends with? Would he like Mac tonight?
I think he would like Mac tonight. I think I could see Mac tonight and Harry getting along.
Harry would defeat racism.
He would. Harry's a lover, not a fighter.
The corsage.
Yeah.
How do we end this?
I don't know. Are we still going even?
Just play just end it on the clip of Harry going in the car.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
It says he hit the corsage and then just end with a loud scream.
Uncultured.